The coffee experience.
Coffee time. The coffee experience in pandemic. Here we go. We're Lyndell and Chris. Hi. And today we decided to do something a little different. We were talking about what to film this week, and we just did the communication series and things like that. And I kind of thought I'd like to take a little break. Not necessarily from filming, but kind of from productivity, which sounds horrible.
Life.
And so I was like, hey, let's actually take a break with people, because I feel like that's something that you and I really struggle with as entrepreneurs. But when
taking a break? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But when we
Last
actually...
week was very crazy. We had a conference all week.
Yes. So we were up 5 a.m.?
Yeah. 5 a.m. our time, Pacific here. And it lasted until like 2. So I had to be on the call in front of the camera all day, every day.
Yep. I did make scones.
And of course, doing normal work all the while. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So I was pretty wiped.
We have been trying to take breaks, and I really feel like it's good for our mental and emotional health. And so one of our absolute favorite things to do is get coffee, which I'm sure is clear.
It's been hampered recently.
I
We used to go to
know.
coffee shops all the time.
I know, I'm really disappointed about that.
We're city folk, so we used to take breaks by getting out of the house and going to coffee shops.
And so today we're going to Phil's. Not sponsored by Phil's, but I love Phil's. One, because they put mint in their coffee, which I think is delicious. And 2, they literally have probably the best COVID procedures I've seen. Yeah. One of my favorite things that we did the other day was to literally kind of talk about nothing, which we ended up talking about different places we've traveled. And because that wasn't productive, I felt like I really got a break, which was really nice. So are you up for doing that again?
Yeah, I mean, we might talk about some building stuff because that's my break. But
I thought a really interesting topic to talk about, because I really miss traveling, and so kind of reminiscing is nostalgic to me. And so the thing that I was going to ask you was, what was the most surprising place we've ever been?
Oh, I think that's fairly easy. Well, surprising in a good way and a bad way, actually.
Go for it.
Surprising in a good way, Australia, of course. We've considered living in Australia because of how fun it was. I mean, Sydney was like a mini California. Melbourne is like a mini New York. You know, Australia has 30 million people. It's a tenth of the population of us here in the U.S., but I think the landmass is almost equivalent, if I'm not mistaken. So the amount of openness is so great, and their society is still democratic. Sorry, one of the things we do is kind of just see how waiters respond and see how, the minimum wage is, we'll see what the minimum wage is and what the normal quality of life is, and really like try to understand what the decisions in government and how that affects the people and how they deal with it and how they react to customers and travel foreigners and things like that. And it is clear that Australia being, having a really high minimum wage really takes care of their people.
Yeah.
There's no homeless people. The only homeless people are those with, unfortunately, mental issues that are very, very difficult to work with anyway. So that's another topic, but, And I mean, the amount of art in the city is amazing. I mean, Melbourne is like known for their street art. They literally have all the alleys and whatnot spray painted, but these are street artists. I got it.
Chris is a more aggressive driver than I am.
Well, we're in Tessie, so the Tesla is very quick.
So sidebar, tangent, my favorite. It's really important to embrace who you are and your skill set. So Chris is a very good driver. He is a very mechanically intuitive driver. So you are more aggressive because I feel like you understand how the machine works more than I do. So you know what it can and can't do. And whereas I have like the textbook follow distance of like the 3 car lengths and things like that, just because I know that is how I will be safest anyway. So I get nervous sometimes.
Tessie yells at me sometimes. She beeps if I go or if I get too close to somebody while braking or whatnot.
Yep, and she usually beeps when I feel uncomfortable. So I feel like she and I
We'll see if we can get an example of that.
No. Okay. Continue. Australia.
Right, and so the street art was amazing. It's beautiful. Like you can literally just go walking around alleys. We found amazing, like, speakeasies were really fun.
Yeah.
The food is amazing. It's all farm to table because, I mean, you're literally dealing with, they really don't import stuff. One of the funniest things is we went to the store and what are those called?
Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are literally not as vibrant in Australia because they're not allowed to use the deadly food colorings that we are here in the U.S. So they're literally just dull.
I didn't think you totally believed me when I said that Australia has healthier food regulations. Yeah. And so I got to really show you by literally showing you a cereal you've seen in the United States that it's a different color because they use natural food coloring. It was really cool because we actually got to be in Australia a lot and we got to work there. And so we got to work with a lot of Australians and that was actually my answer too.
Most surprising place?
Most surprising place because it wasn't on...
Wow, there's a lot of people in the park.
There's so many people out. Oh, God.
I think we're in a pandemic still.
Shudder.
Like, we only don't have our masks on because we're
in the car with the air circulating inside.
There's a bit of a distance, and they have masks, so maybe they're okay.
Australia, I wasn't against going to Australia, but it wasn't like on my top 10 like bucket list or anything like that.
I never assumed I would go.
Yeah, and then so we got to work there, which was really cool.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I think the thing that struck me almost immediately was I was looking around and going, why is everybody so attractive? I realized I was looking at every single person, and it's not that they looked a certain way. It wasn't like they got plastic surgery or everybody has to fit into this mold or anything, but it was literally like everybody was the healthiest version of themselves. And we were in Melbourne and Sydney.
Right.
And I really think that is because they really promote a healthy work-life balance.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
And
like 5 o'clock,
yeah, everybody's gone. And they take coffee breaks throughout the day, and they promote hanging out with their families and doing sports. Right. And they do have quite a bit of sunshine.
Right.
And that was just really interesting to actually see. Literally, so many people we met, we'd be talking to them, and they go, oh, yeah, I have 4 kids. Or they'd talk about having grandchildren. I was like, you literally look 5 years older than me.
One of the guys, Ben, was like a grandfather, and we're like, aren't we the same age? I don't even have kids yet.
And we are not, but we look the same age.
Right.
That is for sure.
Right.
Anyway, so that was just really
Shout
interesting.
Out to Ben.
You're right. The food was fabulous, and also culturally, they're really into kind of the whole person, and so they promoted so much art, and when
you have that work-life balance, you just have time to exercise or work on yourself and your appearance, or art, or sports.
Yes.
Whatever.
Well, and the government, I feel like, promotes that as well. And so we were talking to a couple of people, and you really can make a living being an artist in Australia, and you don't have to be a famous artist to make a living as an artist. So that was really cool to see too. And we actually saw the Book of Mormon there because tickets were reasonable, and it was bloody awesome.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And I mean, this is getting into our entrepreneurship side of things, but
as we usually do.
You could tell we like to look at like innovation and how much kind of wealth creation and how much opportunity there is for the individual. And Australia actually does have a lot of innovation as well, although it is a little more spread out because you don't have so much concentration of wealth. Their big thing is, I think, banking. They have a lot of banking products as well, a lot of innovation in that sector, and there's been obviously a lot of engineering and technological products that have come out of Australia as well. A couple apps that I use and services that we use. So it's not like there's a lacking of opportunity or innovation there either. We just have 10 times the more amount of people here, so there's probably going to be 10 times the amount of innovation and wealth creation.
Yeah, maybe. But it was just, I don't know, it was just really nice to see. And I noticed in restaurants too that people were more casual. Waiters weren't trying to turn you over because they make a livable wage.
There wasn't tips.
There's no tipping.
Right.
Because they make enough money.
But it's not like they didn't show up. Like, we never didn't get service.
Yeah, nope. They were super kind.
They just weren't as stressed.
Yeah, and like you said...
Because they could pay the bills.
The food was so good. Oh, and I also loved
Food was great.
that sometimes we find like fancy places to have like a nice dinner at or something, and what I noticed when we went there was I looked around and there wasn't one particular demographic. It wasn't a particular age group. It was literally from teenagers to octogenarians and different cultures, and it wasn't like these are the wealthy people. So it was as if, oh, everybody can enjoy their life here. Welcome to Australia. Not sponsored by Australia.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that it actually opened me up to really trying to find those hidden gems when we get to travel again. Like looking beyond my bucket list, because obviously I have countries that I want to visit, like the countries that our families are from or that I feel connected to in one way or another, but to kind of close your eyes and maybe pick something.
I think one of the fun things
cool.
we do, that too, and sorry, I think one of the fun things we do is we don't plan out every minute of every day.
Yes.
We say, hey, what do we really want to see here? And then let's relax and see what is local and try to like live their experience on a more daily basis, to try to get an idea of more the daily life, the daily grind, how it feels to live in that area. Anyway, that's always really fun.
Yeah, and I always try to Google restaurants that aren't necessarily
off the beaten path.
Yeah, the trendiest
Some of our
places.
favorite restaurants are in Australia. We're really missing them. The Grub food van.
The Grub food van. Oh, I
gosh.
love the Grub food van. It is so... just the ambiance alone is...
It's like this hippie coffee shop thing that's outside with one
amazing.
of those...
One of the times that we went to Australia, I did a dumpling extravaganza because Chris was working... Actually, there were a couple of times I was working in Australia, but this time I wasn't and you were. And so literally every day I tried a different dumpling place for lunch. And it was amazing.
It's one of the best places for Asian food.
And it also taught us how to be good flyers.
Oh yeah, once you go to Australia, man, the East Coast 6-hour trip.
Any flight
nothing.
is easy after that one.
I mean, we're talking. I used to categorize. I categorize flights by movies.
Oh yeah.
Australia is a 5 to 6 movie flight. East Coast is now only a 2 to 3 movie flight for me. So.
Yeah.
Once you go to Australia, every other flight is.
Oh my god, I feel
nothing.
like. How long is that flight?
It's like
16?
14 to 16 hours or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'm good up to about 13 hours, and then I start to like the air. I start to kind of scratch the air.
When I went by myself, I fortunately was able to travel in business, which is
that was bougie.
Amazing. Yeah, like I would look forward to the food, other than like, and then when Lyndell would go, we would kind of trade in our ticket and do the coach experience. My company was okay with us. They would pay for the travel for me, and then I would just trade in my business class ticket for 2 coach because it actually saved them thousands of dollars.
But anyway, back to Australia.
Sorry.
And I feel like, I don't know, Australia was really fun for me, and especially that we went so often that I didn't need a map, and we had favorite places, and my parents came with us one time. That was super fun. And I don't think they plan to go to Australia either.
No.
But it's such a beautiful country, and the people are really nice, and yeah, I highly recommend going next time we can go.
Yeah, we'll see. Next time we can travel again. The coffee experience.
Coffee time. The coffee experience in pandemic. Here we go.
Immunocompromised Christopher staying in the car.
And then I wear sunglasses to block
spit.
Super friendly, isn't it? And I've been learning to smile with my cheeks. Is it working? Can you see it? Yeah, I'm smiling. Okay, anyway. Hello. Hello, I have returned. This is yours. So now we go through our process.
Our decontamination.
Yep, our decontamination process. I have our alcohol wipes. Chris gets it first. We wipe off the mouth on both of them because that's the part that needs to be the cleanest. Thank you. And we continue through. Super relaxing, isn't it?
Let's take a little detour from the drinking of said coffee. So anyway, I think we're done with talking about Australia, right?
Yeah, that was really nice. Oh, and I think a really close runner-up would be Scotland for sure. for me.
Scotland is fun.
Scotland was awesome. And another, we went there for work.
Yeah, Lyndell was working this time. The Scottish play in Scotland.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Which is awesome. So while I was rehearsing, Chris was drinking scotch. You have to drink it.
Oh, no, stop. This is a mint mojito.
Did you drink it already?
Yeah, I had a sip.
Could you not tell?
After I tasted it.
Oh, okay. Now cheers me. Oh, that's so good.
I was like, oh, they made it gross. I'm like, oh, wait.
Okay.
It tastes like mint.
Now, the reason
Disgustingness.
the reason that he says that it's gross is actually the almond milk in it. You don't like almond milk.
I'm allergic to almonds.
So that's good.
Nuts.
So you get to take
I didn't think I was. And
you get to take this now.
bitter tick. Well, anyway, we tried all the milks, and I just really did not like the almond milk or the oat milk or any of that stuff. I don't do so well with nuts nowadays. I think I've developed some allergens.
We are now clean, disinfected. We have the right coffees.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to your break. And please give yourself permission to take a break. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I need them. And I feel like I need them a little bit more than usual, but that's okay.
I think we're being more productive than usual. I think everybody's just working constantly and not actually taking any breaks.
Yep.
There's no driving home or to the office. That's kind of a break. Mm-hmm. Mental break.
Or sitting in the coffee shop.
There's no going to a coffee shop. There's no going out to dinner. There's no walking around the neighborhood. We used to like that.
Yeah. It's a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. And thank you for joining us on our coffee jaunt. And also thank you to all of the restaurants and things that are helping us have these little treats throughout the day and also keeping us safe. So,
Yep.
thanks.